Hey Victorville News Group, this is Hugo bringing you guys a quick update here on a traffic accident investigation that has prompted a road closure of Paz Drive between Valley Center Drive and 7th Street in the city of Victorville. Right now you are looking at the Victorville city crew that has already arrived on scene, and they're going to begin the process of clearing up the roadway so that they can reopen it after the deputies conducted their investigation. So you can see here what remains. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. If you can, please give me a comment and let me know if you guys are able to hear me. Let me see if I can see your comments. 1 second. So you can see there is a basket there. The basket has many personal belongings to the person that was struck by the vehicle. You can see there is a blanket, a couple of blankets, some clothes that are scattered throughout the roadway there. And you can see that they are in the process now of clearing everything up. Again, this is a investigation that is underway right now. I'll bring you guys up to speed on what's going on. So initially, right after everything occurred, it was initially believed that this was possibly a hit and run because the vehicle that was involved continued, and so a lot of people reported that it was possibly a hit and run. However, the driver of that vehicle actually pulled over into the Food for Less parking lot, which is the next shopping center over from here, and was stayed at the scene and actually cooperated with the deputies that conducted their investigation. So right now we do not have an update on the person that was struck as far as their condition goes, but we do know that they were injured and they were transported by ambulance to a local hospital. We're waiting hopefully to get more of an update on their condition. So thank you guys for letting me know that you can hear me. I'm going to show you guys some footage here that I shot as well from the vehicle. This is the vehicle. This was recorded just a little bit ago. This is the vehicle that was in the Food for Less shopping center. You can see it sustained damage to the windshield and the front driver's side. The male driver of that vehicle, spoke with deputies. Here's another close-up of the damage that the vehicle sustained. Spoke with the deputies, and the deputies actually administered a field sobriety test on that person, so that to make sure that that person was not under the influence. That person, the driver of that vehicle, passed and cooperated with the investigation, and they let him. He was clear to go. So no wrongdoing there on his part. Again, after the impact, I talked to his mom. His mom said that he was so shaken up after everything happened that he just didn't know. He was just shaken up and just pulled over immediately as into the next shopping center, which was the Food for Less shopping center right after this. Again, this is the vehicle. As they were preparing to take it away from that parking lot, you can see the damage that it sustained on the windshield and also on the front bumper on the driver's side there. The driver again was shaken up after the impact, pulled over into the Food for Less shopping center, and then walked over here and cooperated with the deputies that were here at the scene. Here's also some footage that was taken a little bit ago while the deputies are walking the road here doing their investigation. You can see that they conducted their portion of the investigation by their measurements. Again, this is footage that I took earlier while they were here. Most of them have already departed from the scene, but this is what it looked like, and this is the road closure that you can see as well from 7th Street and Paz Drive. But that's what's happening here, and I'm going to go back to the live shot so you guys can see what's happening here. This is what's left of the accident scene. They are in the process now of clearing it up. And I hope you guys can hear me okay. I am using a new microphone that I'm trying out for the first time, so I hope you guys are able to hear me properly. But again, this is the Victorville City emergency response team from the Public Works Department that has already arrived, and they are clearing up the person's belongings. You can see the shopping cart there that they're picking up. No, the driver was not drunk. The driver cooperated with the officer that was conducting the investigation. That officer did a field sobriety test on that driver and was cleared. There was no driving under the influence at all. The person hit by the vehicle was transported to a local hospital. We don't have an update on their condition. That's what we're waiting to find out. what the extent of injuries were, but hopefully it wasn't anything like fatal or anything like that. We don't have any update on that yet. There's no, this is just the person's belongings, which was a shopping cart, some clothing, some blankets. Obviously, the person appears to be a transient, based on what was left here behind. I'll read your comment. A Gemini said, if it was a guy, he always walks in the street right there with his basket. He was there last night with that same stuff when I was at Jack in the Box last night, yelling at the air, just a poor lost soul. Hope he's okay and finds his way. Thank you for your comment. I don't know if that's the person that was hit, but since this is a kind of like a frequented area by a lot of people, it may have likely been that person because they kind of hang around in this general area. So once we have more of an update on that person and who it was, hopefully we can provide that. We can get those details and we'll provide them for you on VVNG.com. Did he have a dog in the cart? I don't know that. By the time I got here, the person was already transported, and I didn't see animal control respond out here for any dog. So I don't know if there was any dog in the cart with him. Yeah, the driver, and again, after the impact occurred, the driver, I'm told, was very shaken up. Obviously, it's a traumatizing experience. I mean, you're driving, all of a sudden, you have someone on the hood of your car. It happens. I mean, it's an accident, and the driver was very traumatized, shaken up, so pulled over into the Food for Less shopping center by the T-Mobile, which is where the vehicle was parked. And again, I'll show you guys the footage that I obtained from there while the vehicle was being towed away. This is the car. It is a Hyundai, and you can see it had damage to the front windshield and as well as the front bumper on the driver's side. Here's another close-up view of that damage. It wasn't too bad, I would say, but definitely visible. This is when the tow truck arrived and was in the process of hooking it up and removing it. A deputy photographed a couple of things inside of that car before they took it, but this is where it was parked at. And the driver, walked back over to the scene and cooperated with the deputies. Again, initially, a lot of people reported that the car fled because it continued going into the next shopping center. So the assumption from people was that it was a hit and run. And so the deputies, they went around to the Jack in the Box, to the VA office across the street, and they were reviewing some of the cameras footage. But again, the driver was here cooperating with the deputy, so everything got settled and resolved. And it is not a hit and run as it was initially suspected. This is when they were doing the investigation here at the scene. And then we'll go back to this live shot. You can see majority of the person's belongings have already been removed from the roadway. The investigation has already been completed. So once they clear the road, I'm sure they're going to reopen it and allow traffic to flow through here again. I just showed the footage of the car. It was a black Hyundai, and I don't have an update on the person that was hit. But yeah, it was a just be careful if you guys are driving on the roads. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that walk this area. I'm reading some of the comments from some of you guys, and you guys seem to know exactly what I'm talking about, but this was not a hit and run. Again, it was initially reported that it could have been, but it was not. The driver came back, never actually left after he parked the car, came back to talk to the deputy, and then the deputy interviewed him, conducted a field sobriety test on that driver, cleared. No, there was no suspicion of driving under the influence of any kind, so he was cleared and cooperated with the deputy's investigation. So it was not a hit and run. Oh, thank you for the feedback, guys. It does help that there is not a lot of wind, because when it's very windy, that doesn't help with the sound quality. But you can see that's the road closure at 7th and La Paz, right by the Jack in the Box. The businesses are all still open. You can still get into the shopping center, but the roadway is closed, so don't try to go around the roadblocks. If you ever see them, or if you see a cop blocking the road, don't try to go around it. Just there was a lot of people several people that actually tried to go around the cop cars, and it makes the job difficult for the deputies when they have to chase after the cars that are driving through the scene. Yes, and unfortunately there's the other road closure down there by the Food for Less, Big Lots, Costco, Valley Center Drive down over there. Thank you guys for the feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you for the feedback. But that's what's happening here on La Paz Drive. A person was struck, possibly a homeless individual, because of the belongings with the shopping cart and the blanket and everything like that. So we don't have an update on the condition of that person that was hit. They were transported to a local hospital. Once we have more information, you can read about it on VVNG.com. That's the latest here from the city of Victorville, reporting live from La Paz Drive and near 7th Street in Victorville. My name is Hugo. You can read more at VVNG.com. There should be an article up there with the story. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you very much. Stay safe out there.